morning, ladies and gentlemen. Xin chào. Xin chào. I should use the opportunity to practice my very limited Vietnamese in these last months in Vietnam. Very happy to be here. And Van and Mimi, I think, again, said it also yesterday evening at the drinks we had, but you really do an incredible job in pushing this agenda together also with your partners of Vietcetera. And I think you're also very complimentary because there where Mimi was still up till very late last night, Van was already in bed. And this morning Van took the metro and Mimi, I think, came a little bit later. So that's good, you know, you're a good team. Keep that up. And I think the people in this room are also a good team. I know there's a lot of Dutch connections and we're going to mention some of them also today. And I was also hesitating whether to just read out what I have here or improvise, but also out of respect for our new colleague in the team, Amy Fan, who has joined us recently at the Consulate General, I will try and stick as much as possible to the text which you have prepared. So also thank you to you for that. Good to hear that yesterday went well. And I think today is very much about talking about the how. And you just mentioned a lot of blah, blah. My job is blah, blah. As a diplomat, I'm sorry to say. But the good news is I talk about the things we do also as the Netherlands in this country. And the things we do is also very much related to the businesses we have in this country. And someone just asked me over coffee, wow, how come you are the first investor from Europe in this country and the first export destination and the first trade partner from Europe? Yes, it's a fact. And we are indeed not the biggest country physically in Europe, but we do have a strong entrepreneurial tradition. And also in this conference, we saw some of these companies. And sometimes people say, yeah, it's a statistic. It's because of your attractive tax environment. Well, I'm sure, Alexander, you can also say that's changed. It's not the case anymore. And it is very much because of the logistical position of the Netherlands, the knowledge of English, the education system, the level of education, and which make the Netherlands an attractive place to do business and from where to do business, also here in Vietnam. Last month in Hanoi, there was the P4G summit, which welcomed high-level delegations from around 40 countries, which is a very clear signal of Vietnam's rising profile as a regional leader on green growth. We're very proud as the Netherlands to be a core donor and country partner in P4G, and we joined it in 2018 and launched our national platform 5 years ago, all with the aim of accelerating green growth and the SDGs through public-private partnerships. And our commitment and working together Vietnam has been strong over the decades, also given the fact that we are both Delta countries in our respective corners of our continents, facing similar challenges related to climate change, and also realizing that these are big issues. Vietnamese government does it, we do it as well. And we engage with our businesses, as I just mentioned, and I'm also happy to see here today Fleur from the Dutch Business Association Vietnam, with whom we partner very closely together in this country, and with your members who intrinsically believe that this is an important way of working and of doing business. Vietnam, of course, now, as we all are navigating a very challenging global trade landscape with growing pressure from some of the major international markets. And it's time to diversify, both in terms of trading partners and export products. I'm sure, Tim, you will talk more about this after me. And I'm also happy to say that, yes, we partner up also with civil-led initiatives across multiple sectors, also social organizations. And that's why I do want to highlight Fairware, which is with us today, Alexander Koonstam. Thank you for being here. And also highlight SNV, which is originally the Dutch vrijwilligers, how do you say in English? Those development organization from the Netherlands, and we're very happy to have you here, based in Hanoi, but you have a strong office also here. Other partners who are active in this field are climate fund managers, who have a big office with 60 people here working in different fields of sustainability. And I also met yesterday the people from PIDG, based in Singapore at the conference, which also has a lot of Dutch money invested there. So through different pillars, we work in this country. And I think that also is the strength of our cooperation. Of course, on the trade side of things, we have the free trade agreement, the EU-Vietnam, and we're happy to say that it's working and that it also has led to a great increase in trade over the last year. And also, especially products like coffee and seafood and rice, the demand for it is very strong in the European Union. And all these sectors are sectors in which we work also together with Vietnam in sustainability. We have, as you probably know, a whole set of regulations in the European Union, EU policies such as the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, and the Corporate Sustainability Due Diligence Directive, and the EU Deforestation Regulation, which in the end, these are difficult words, but mean that we look at how products have been produced, whether it be on the environmental side of things, or whether it be the social labor conditions. Also happy to say that in Vietnam we have the trade union CNV, who work together on this, and this is very special, and it also shows that Vietnam is open to work together and to dialogue. But on all these topics, we have that influence on how things are produced in Vietnam. And I think the global context of certain markets becoming more difficult make the way we work with Vietnam and the way Australia, who is also present today, work with Vietnam important, and what we discuss in what we require from a product has more impact in that sense. In agriculture, Vietnam and the Netherlands are also working closely together to prepare the products and the exports, especially in the coffee sector, for compliance. The Dutch Entrepreneurial Development Bank, FMO, has invested recently $15 million in Phuc Sinh Corporation to expand sustainable coffee production in Vietnam, supporting smallholder farmers and promoting climate-smart agriculture. Another one I want to highlight is our cooperation in the Mekong Delta, where both our countries are working on sustainable aquaculture development. It's a very deeply integrated approach, improving farming methods, strengthening value chains, managing water resources, and adopting nature-based solutions. This also includes joint work on groundwater management and salinization, and issues that are very critical for the long-term viability of the delta. And we're combining our own Dutch expertise in integrated water resource management with Vietnam's local knowledge to reduce subsidence, the land subsidence, and the salt intrusion there. We're also collaborating on coastal protection, where, of course, we have experience on how to protect our vulnerable shorelines, which, if you've ever been to the beach in Hoi An, you also see how slowly it's disappearing. And we are working also in Ho Chi Minh City on making Tuduk City, Rotterdam and Tuduk City are working together to make it more flood resilient. I want to say that for us, this public-private partnership is not just a word, it is really the way we work. And of course, we have a new government since, last year? And we see new governments around the world. Ours is, what shall I say? It's not a Trump government, but it's also not Albanese government. Somewhere in the middle, maybe. But we come from a tradition of really caring about sustainability, and that's still there. But we do believe that the way to get it done, also in a country like Vietnam, is to work really with the businesses. Vietnam is very sensitive, also the Communist Party of Vietnam, to growth. And this is the social contract in the country also. And so if you have your businesses who can actually engage and show they're wanting to invest in the different provinces of Vietnam and providing jobs and also doing it in a sustainable way, which Prime Minister Chin has indeed engaged in, that is the way to get things done. We call it the Dutch diamond, what I just described. I want to highlight one more project, which is the one from climate fund managers in the beautiful Chavin province, which I can recommend you to visit if you have the opportunity, which is both from a cultural and natural perspective, really an interesting place to go, with a strong Khmer minority there also, and a lot of green and mangroves still left. And there, climate fund managers did a $71 million commitment to a nearshore wind project, and this is helping in the green energy transition of the Mekong Delta. Well, on this note, I want to close, and I also want to thank again the organizers for bringing us all together. I also want to say I'm very happy that Tim is going to succeed me. We did agree yesterday that you would wear your orange socks, given your Dutch connection, but you can explain yourself why you didn't do that. And for the rest, thank you very much and have a very good conference. Thank you.